Pecha Kucha 254, Ultimates 2 Volume 2, and Marvel Classics. So I previously called Batman White Knight the biggest example of hot-shotting I've ever read in my life. I was wrong. It's just fan fiction. It's Joker fan fiction. I finally figured out why I felt the way I did about it. Because it's Joker fan fiction. This book here is... so many crazy things happen and have led up to this happening that there's no way to follow up afterwards. That's what hot-shotting is. You effectively are so successful, you kill the future of the franchise. The Ultimates did actually fall off a cliff after this, but my god, did it go out in style with this. What did they do last time? Stop an alien invasion? Well, this time they get defeated before the fight starts by an evil version of the Avengers, led by Loki, who has managed to turn the good guys against each other. And when his Avengers fail, his evil ones, he basically triggers Ragnarok, the end of the world, and summons an army of mythical creatures to destroy the world. Yeah, are they going to go after bank robbers after this going forward? This is phenomenal. It's insane. It's a page turner. It's brilliant, and it's just so self-destructive. This book also contains an 8-page double-page spread. 8 pages. The Batman book here is for size reference. This is so needlessly ambitious. This is also hot-shotting. I don't even value double-page spreads, and I'm not especially fond of this, but I'm glad I got this. It should have doubled the price of the book. After reading the most egregious Avengers book in modern history, I was like, can I even go back and read the 60s stuff without laughing? I bought this book a long time ago, in 98 probably, which tells the original Stan Lee versions of the origins of most of the Marvel superheroes. And it starts with the Fantastic Four, and it's awful. I think this story must predate all the other ones by, if not 6 months, then 10 years. Stan Lee doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. His pacing is terrible. His characterization is terrible. The book, it's better to read the story without reading any of the narration boxes, because they make things worse. Everything else in the book reads very well. Spider-Man is still tight. It's great. The origin of the Avengers, ironically, is a mistake Loki makes. Thor's half-brother, who is the big bad of the other book I read. So there's an interesting parallel there. And the X-Men story, there's a lot of things I could say there, but the one panel where Magneto, you can't see his face because it's cut out by his own speech bubble, is such an egregious error of professionalism. I can't help but laugh. Even I know not to do that. It's the 60s. These comics cost 10 cents a pop, right? It was a different time, and in some ways we're worse off without it. I also started pacing my 7-page Raphael comic, and I made Raphael very angry. The original one's on the left, the original page one's on the left, the second version, page 2, is on the right, and page 1 is on the right, and here are both of the page 2s. I've managed to squeeze page 3 into page 2, because what I'm trying to do is give myself more room moving forward to kind of explain the ambush that Raphael gets caught by. So by the time I get to page 4, it's kind of like, what can I do to pace things in a way that's easier to read? I probably am making it harder to read because I'm trying to be too dynamic for my own good without the details underneath. It's definitely a chore. It feels like work. So I just took some time to put some crap on YouTube in the background to just try and figure out how I draw turtles. And I've learned some stuff, and I'm looking at a lot of different versions of the turtles and just trying to figure out what do I think is the stuff to keep and what's the stuff to lose. I'm comfortable almost with their shapes of their heads, the way the shell fits on their torsos, and my problems with their legs are the problems I have with everyone's legs. I still haven't quite figured out how to make muscular legs not look ridiculous. I'm getting better, but it's a work in progress. Trying to figure out the way that a turtle's head works, because I always the bandana is not something that sits on top of the head. It's something I use to alter the shape of the head. I've been trying to be mindful of that in a few rough sketches. And I also spent this week doing something I should have been doing for years, which was working on just grabbing images off of Google, building reference libraries for just about everything. So I've got general reference, and then when I need something specific, I have specific reference for like specific poses and textures and stuff like that. So all the stuff I've been looking at for totals, that's is, you know, just like image boards. So I'm like, okay, I know what the good stuff is. I want to be aiming in this direction, but I don't necessarily need high resolution images. High resolution images are always better. And just doing like a drive-by on Google, I was surprised how many high resolution images I could get. I just, the point of this is have stuff, data mine it, and then implement it so that it sticks in my head. So I just, you know, I don't draw people with AK-47s, but it's the kind of thing, if I'm doing a Punisher comic, might come up. So I'm like, let's just quickly try to get a sense of the general shape of the gun, the scale of the gun, how people hold the gun, and let's see if I can't figure out how to put the gun in someone's hands, give them the body language, have them actually look down the sight, figure out the scale by using common sense if I haven't quite grasped it. So here I'm just trying to work it in, and I'm just using the Punisher because, well, I mean, who else is going to be shooting people on the street for no fucking reason? And I feel like, considering it was something I was doing without any major time investment, I think this is something that can work going forward, and the trick is, you know, use it before you lose it. So I am going to have to keep drawing people shooting AKs for a while. Yeah. But that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 254, and I will see you next time.